If you're crafting on a budget, everyday household items that have a lot of texture can be your best friend. Things that you have laying around your house every day. These are some trivets that I have for my hot pots and pans. All it takes is a little bit of ink stamped on, and this is it stamped one time through. I re-inked this pad, turned it a little, and then I stamped again. And it just gives a really fun pattern. This trivet that I have, I inked this up with just a blue ink, and it gave me this really fun pattern right here. So I bought stamps from the company Wish and had pretty good results with those stamps. Are they the highest quality of stamps like you would buy from other companies? No, but they get the job done. And if that's what you're wanting in stamping, that's the way to go. These are pretty inexpensive. So I have like a little snowman, like little Christmas one. And then these are some little monkeys that I got. And this one is like a fall scene. And with this one right here, I've already stamped it out, and you can see the quality of the stamping. Now, sometimes when you're purchasing stamps from the company Wish, and I never had any problems like ordering stamps from them, but these right here, like the words, so you have to be careful and make sure you read the reviews on the individual stamps that you're ordering, because sometimes the words can be really small. So on this particular stamp set, I think that this is fine, but just for an example, this was a set of stamps that I ordered of sentiments, and you can see, you can barely even read it. That's how tiny all this lettering is. It's super small. I don't use this because once I stamped it out, it was way too small. Now, like these ones right here, the bigger ones, those ones are fine, but you can really see, yeah, this was really tiny writing, and this one's a good one too. I wanted to show you something because, as you can see, this is layered. I have the leaves and the little animals are on top of the leaves. So to get that effect, I stamp my main images first, and then for the stamps, I go ahead and stamp these little guys again. And when I stamped it onto the masking magic to get another image, and I just took the little body parts from the bottom and I cut them out with my scissors. Now, if you don't have masking magic, if you have a low tack tape, and it has to be something that's not going to rip your card. So this is mint tape, and it's amazing. It's very low tack. It will not rip your cards. You could stamp the images out on this and fussy cut around those to have your overlays. Now I'm hoping I can show you this up close, because I didn't want to continually have to, like every time I use a stamp set, I didn't want to have to do these overlays again. So you can see the bottom parts of the bodies that I used just to mask off so I could stamp the leaves over top, and it would keep the leaves from being on the little bodies. So if you're a beginner, that's a really good thing to know. And now all I got to do is I can just peel off these little images and stick them on the lower portions of the body so I can stamp over it. So I just attached them to the backing, and they're always there when I need them. My newest obsession is the Unity Stamp Company, and I'll put this up close so you can see all the information. I am not affiliated with this company at all, so I want you to be able to see all the information to where if you want to purchase any of these stamps, you can go online and purchase them. I was skeptical about the company because this was one of those ads that you kind of see, but the stamp sets are so cute. I wanted to see if the company was legit, what kind of quality it was, so I could pass the information on to you, because these are absolutely adorable. So the quality is really good. They have red rubber stamps, and then they also have clear. They're called, you can see these ones right here. They're called Clearly Unity. So if it doesn't say Clearly Unity on the actual stamp set when you're purchasing, it's going to be a red rubber stamp. I just want to run through some of these that I got. and they're super adorable. I got the chickens, of course. They're so cute. And there's a Christmas tree, and this is just some of the ones that I purchased. I'll show you the quality difference. The Wish Company's stamps, and you can see how thin that is. And it's very flimsy, very wiggly, and you can see the detail on that. Now this is the bird from the other stamp set, the Clearly Unity. And you can see, let me get this up here. You can see the difference in the quality of the stamp. When I placed my order with Unity, I got this bag with it as well. And the company sent me all this freebies. There's nothing else in the bag. But look at all this cool stuff they sent. This was just a freebie. I love it when companies think about their customers and send freebies. So all of this cool stuff was extra that they just sent me. It was a total surprise. And look how awesome. Let me know in the comments below, what are your favorite cheaper stamps? I know Amazon, I get a lot of stamps from Amazon. You can get some really good sets on there for really cheap. Find some really good deals. So let me know, what are your favorites in the comments? Show you the quality of some of their stamped images. Like, look how gorgeous that is. And I'm going to touch on coloring in just a moment, because coloring can get as expensive or as cheap as you want to make it. So these are my chickens that I had. And then I got the cute little kitty. And then this is another one that I've started. Look at the quality of that. My Copic collection, and these markers are not cheap. And I've been searching around for a dupe for these for a long time. I've tried other markers and I've hated other markers, but I'm going to share some information because I tried out a marker that I really, really like. And if I would have known about them beforehand, I would have got a super big collection of them instead of these. And the reason why is because sometimes when you're using these, they're like super juicy, blob out ink, like ink will just drip out of it onto your project. Some people are saying that if you take both the caps off of each end, then that won't happen to your project, but I don't want to do that. I shouldn't have to do that when I'm using a marker. I don't share a product on my channel unless I absolutely love it and believe in the product. And I wish I would have known about these markers before I bought my Copics. I would have saved a ton of money and I would have had like a lot of color options. So this company sent me these markers. They sent me 48. They also sent me the acrylic paint markers to try out. And they sent me the marker pad, and I can't wait to share this with you because this is absolutely amazing. Unzip this, and it's got its own little bag. All the markers are stored in here. And in here, and it's just stored down inside the bag, you get this little piece of plastic that if you're coloring on something, you can put this underneath so that the markers actually don't bleed through. It comes with this book, and the colors, like they've offer a lot of different colors, which is really cool. Keep this stuff just down in the side here, just in the side, and you pull them out, and it already comes with swatch cards. So you can swatch all the markers, and then when you're coloring a project, your colors are right there in front of you. So you can already see them and know what colors you're going to pick for your project. So if we go back to these cards that I made, I used these markers to create the looks on these. You can see how vibrant those colors are. Now, with the exception of the yellow in the center of the flowers, because I did those with the acrylic paint markers because I really wanted to add that vibrance and that extra pop to the center of those flowers. Marker pad by the same company, and I absolutely fell in love with this because this is pretty amazing. If you're into scrapbooking or if you're doing stamp journaling or just journaling of any kind, you're just stamping your images, you're layering on die cuts, whatever it is, this is going to be the book for you. You can see the thickness of it. So there's a lot of pages in here. And I actually took some pages out of the back so I could cut them up for cards. And you can see how white, look how crisp that is. And it's got a pretty good paperweight consistency to it. It's not overly heavy, so it's nice for stamping on it. But look how white. So you're going to get really true colors on this paper. I loved the price point of all of these products because when compared to the other products that I have, this was just a no-brainer because these products really work and they work very well. And these are the acrylic markers. And you can see it comes with the swatch cards, so you can swatch out everything. So you can see what it looks like on white. These are all of the colors and what they look like on white paper versus what they look like on black. And you can see some of the markers have a metallic like sheen to them, which is really fun to play with. I'll show you this because this is really cool too, because this end, it's your paint marker. And you can see the tip on that. But my favorite thing about these paint markers is the other tip. You can really get in on your cards into that fine detail and really use that tip, and it won't mess up your projects. These are pretty amazing. Now, these are the tips on these markers. I'll show you that. And I haven't had any trouble with these markers blobbing ink out onto my projects. They've been really great. And then you've got the chisel end. I'll show you what I've been creating. I'm working on, this is my little stamping journal, and I'm going to write stuff in here, put pictures and things. But these are Tim Holtz stamps that I use for this. These are not the cheaper stamps. Make sure when you're coloring, just lay out your swatch cards. It makes it super easy for you to be able to pick your colors. And now, since I'm going to be using this on white paper, I'll only need the white swatch card. The BG1, you can see the color of the cap. This is BG1. Look at the difference. Like, it's completely different colored. So definitely don't go by cap color, go by your swatches. And these markers, they flow like very well against the paper. Of the fact that I don't have to worry if the ink is going to ruin my project, because that is just my one pet peeve with the Copic alcohol markers, is because I get so upset because they'll blop out ink every once in a while on your project, and that can severely ruin all the hard work that you've done. I'm going to go with the GY3. It's a nice vibrant green. Now I'm just going to take this color, you see it, and then I'm going to just color the insides of the leaves. So some of you are probably screaming at the screen right now saying, Missy, you did not put anything underneath of your project, so it's just going to bleed onto the next page underneath. Well, this is the magic of this book and why I love it so much and why it's perfect for all kinds of journaling and your stamping and alcohol markers, because alcohol markers will bleed through anything. They will not bleed through this paper, and I'm going to show you. Look at the back side. It will not bleed through. These right here were stamped with the Gina K amalgam ink, and I always use the color Obsidian when it comes to black. I love to stamp with it. I stamped this with the Rustic Wilderness. This is a distress ink. And when I stamped it, because of the coating of the paper with the distress ink, I did have to let this dry a little bit extra, a little bit longer, but the colors just pop on this beautiful white surface. Or 10 pastel pink, and you can just see how quickly this is filling in. And I really like it when you get all that detail in the stamp, because you really can color those quickly and it doesn't take much time at all. There's still no bleed through. Pastel violet, it might be a poor choice. We're just gonna try it, being creative, see what happens. And then I'm just gonna go right in here and just go across all of those shadowed lines just to give another pop of color. Y3 for the center of the flower. Yellow coloring to the background. I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to make lines just to color it in. I have the acrylic paint markers and I've chose the color lemon yellow. You see that right there. And then I'm using the smaller end because it's got that nice fine point on it. With the paint markers, I'm just going to go in and dab the color on to all the little stamens on the flower, and it's really going to make this pop, and it'll even give it a little bit of dimension, which is really cool. See how that yellow just made that pop. Butters is all up on my lap. He just wants to say hello with his little floofy paws and then his little floofy tail. Butters, I love you. I have YR3. Orange is just such a beautiful color. Bronze color in the paint markers. Bronze, really pretty. Into the middle of the flower. And I'm just going to kind of dot it around just to add some extra color in there. Acrylic markers, the lemon yellow. Again, the fine tip. And I'm just going to put dots of color on the inside of the flower. In the pastel violet down here on this flower. I'm just going to color the outsides. P4, it's a little bit darker of a purple. And I'm going to go into the inside of the flower. So I'm one of those that have to turn the book as I'm going around coloring. It just makes it easier. So don't laugh at me. This is just what makes it easier on me. And I need to get bifocals anyway. And I'm not looking forward to it. GY3 for the leaves up at the top. Shade the whole thing on all of the leaves. You can see how the GY3 looks gorgeous on the leaves. And now I'm going to go in with BG1 and do a little bit of the shadows. Now I want to show you up close what those colors look like. Look how pretty. And then these down here, look how gorgeous. And the fact that it does not bleed through. Get the back of the sheet. Look at that. You cannot see it at all. I wish I would have known about them sooner, because if I would have, I would have already had the huge pack of these. They come in different sizes if you're just a beginner and want to dabble in it and just to see what it's like, because those stamped images, once you color them, add that little bit of color, it makes all the difference. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like this video. Let me know if you've ever used paint markers on your cards, because it's a real game changer when you're using that. Look at how that pops. I've had so much fun coloring with you today, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and how these different dupes will help you to not only save money, but create beautiful works of art to give your friends or to put on your cherished memories.